comfortable until they have reached their destination, the farmhouse 6 miles north of here. The Arctic air is like shards of glass in the lungs. It shakes Trudy to the bones until they threaten to snap. "Well, I thought that was a nice service," she says to Anna. Anna is looking through the passenger's window at the horizon. The Lutheran church is built on the highest ridge in New Heidelberg, all the better to be close to God. From this vantage point in the summer, the countryside below is a dreaming checkerboard over which it seems that one could, with a running start, spread one's arms and fly. Now it is a sullen and unbroken white. Trudy tries again. "Short and simple," she says. "Dad would have approved, don't you think?" Slowly, Anna turns her pale gaze on the windshield, and then upon her daughter, staring at Trudy as though she doesn't know who Trudy is. "We must get to the house," she replies. "I must set out the food. The people will be coming soon enough." This is true. All around them, the New Heidelbergers are already climbing into their trucks and minivans. After a brief and respectful intermission, to let the family members refresh their public faces, the townsfolk will descend upon the farmhouse, bearing casseroles and condolences. Trudy shifts into gear and accelerates out of the lot, noting Anna's hands and feet jerk up just a little at the unaccustomed speed. Although Anna has lived nearly 50 years in this remote rural area, where people think nothing of traveling half an hour to buy groceries, she has never learned to drive. She turns back to her window to watch the fields as they blur past. To Trudy, who abandoned New Heidelberg for the Twin Cities as soon as she finished high school 35 years earlier, this landscape is a study in monotony, as bleak and inhospitable as the steppes of Siberia. Snow and mud, gray sky, line after line of barbed wire fencing swooping along the 2-lane road. Silos and trailers. Even the cows are nowhere to be seen. It is early yet, 3 o'clock, but night comes quickly in this part of the country. It will be full dark in an hour. The knowledge of this, and how she will spend that time, makes Trudy feel desperate to be in her own kitchen, her study, in her classroom lecturing disenchanted students, anywhere but here. She suddenly decides she will return to Minneapolis sooner than planned, perhaps tomorrow morning. For one of the odd things about death, Trudy has discovered, is that in its wake one must go about business as usual. It seems heartless and wrong, but now that the rituals of mourning have been attended to, the sole task left to Trudy is to try and comprehend the enormity of this sudden change. And this she might as well do in the comfort of her home, rather than sitting in silence with Anna. First, however, there is the reception to be endured, so Trudy pulls into the farmhouse drive. As they pass through the windbreak of pines, fingers of sun pierce through the clouds, transforming the spindrift in the fields into glittering sheets and highlighting the outbuildings in what seems to Trudy a shamelessly dramatic, ecclesiastical way. She parks and helps Anna from the car, but paces around the dooryard long after Anna has gone inside. It is here, reportedly, that Jack had his fatal heart attack. The coroner has assured Trudy that Jack was dead before he hit the ground. Yet Trudy wonders, did Jack pause, bewildered by the pain ripping through his left arm, his chest? Did he have time to realize what was happening to him? Trudy hopes not. It would ease her mind to know for certain, but Anna, the only witness, is, as usual, not talking. Trudy spends another minute peering at the tamped-down snow, trying to discern beneath it the path Jack followed so consistently from barn to porch that his boots wore ruts in the grass. But she can see nothing, and the sun fades behind a gauzy cataract of cloud, and finally Trudy sighs and climbs the steps into her mother's house. For the house has always been Anna's.